This is Understanding U.S. Government. I'm your host, Mr. Giese. In this episode, we will be discussing mass media and how media informs the public. We will discuss what the definition of mass media is as well. But what are the different types of mass media? What is the role of mass media in providing the public with political information? How has mass media influenced politics? Let's try to answer those questions now. Mass media is the delivery of information to a large group all at the same time, or simultaneously. There are several ways to do this, as some have come to be more important and possibly change the way information is delivered to the public. All of them are able to allow a large number of readers, listeners, or viewers to gather information at the same time. The oldest media is newspapers. This type of medium has allowed people to gather information regarding politics and everything else for years. If you wanted to become informed, most had to read, and some still do. Another print medium that is similar to newspapers would be magazines. Radio became an important medium in the 1930s in the way that televisions are important today. FDR even used his fireside chats to inform the public of what was going on in the government. This was an important medium to relay information from news stations to the public simultaneously, and the public relied on radio to become informed on current affairs. Television has become the dominant force in the dissemination of information across the globe. Most Americans have one, if not several, televisions. Sometimes they're not utilized to take in just the news, but the opportunity is there, and most gather their information from news channels on a daily basis. And close behind TV is the internet. The internet is quickly changing how politicians are running their campaigns and getting out their message for their stances on particular topics. News channels have utilized the internet to archive all of their information, with many of them using social media to add to the ways that they send information to people all at the same time. Candidates have also utilized social media to allow their followers to gain a personal insight to their candidates' thoughts, actions, or statements in an instant. The goal of these different types of mass media is often to shape the public agenda. Public agenda is the societal problems that the nation's general public and the political leaders agree need government attention. As they report the stories, many often comment on what needs to happen or what doesn't need to happen. Each medium have ways to emphasize or downplay particular issues. If they feel something needs to be addressed, they'll spend more time and emphasis on that topic to bring more attention to it. There are some limits to mass media, though. For one thing, only a small portion of people pay attention to political events. 10 to 15% pay close enough attention to be well informed on the candidates that are running in an election. The people who do pay attention to stories, news channels, or shows that agree with their viewpoints. Most do not want to hear the other side defend or try to persuade people to believe in their views. In fact, many will ignore the sources that they disagree with. Mass media is often used to entertain the public. Because of this, many programs do not contain political information. There are a few, but for the most part, people use mass media for entertainment. Lastly, radio and TV tend to skim or summarize the information into small chunks to keep the listeners or viewers from changing channels. Sometimes they do not get the whole story or leave all the details for the person to go research themselves. Hey, they got to pay bills too, and if no one tunes in, they don't work for very long. So most have to prioritize the information that they share to keep the people coming back. While mass media can prove to be beneficial in relaying information to the public, sometimes it has to be the people themselves that have to go deeper into the issues. Even then, most are looking at outlets that support their views. So is mass media important? Sure, but it does have its limits.